Hey, welcome to a new Precious Plastic video. Today we're going to build a very unique shredder, and it's based on our previous Pro model, but redesigned from the ground up. It's developed in collaboration with WEIMA, a German industrial shredder manufacturer that have been building shredders for many years, but usually on a very large, big scale. And this time we used their years of experience to develop a small version, so that people all around the world can start these small-scale recycling workspaces. And the cool part is that all the drawings are shared open source online for free. So a very professional machine available for everyone. I don't think that's ever been done before. But there's a video that explains more about this partnership and see how it went. But in this video we're going to build it. And we're going to show you how to do this step by step. But keep in mind it's quite an advanced professional machine. So make sure you have the right equipment and team available to build it. So now let's get started. And for that we're going to have Jan that's going to actually build it. That's Jan. And this is the machine we're going to build.
We'll start with the main component holding everything together, the shredding box. This is basically a lot of laser cut parts welding together. So for this, you will need all these parts. So we start by welding the flange together and make sure you weld this perfectly flat. It doesn't matter the tool you use. What's important is to make sure everything is well aligned. Now we are ready to put all the sides. Make sure they're all properly square before you weld them together. Once in position, weld the walls together. You might need to force the walls in their final position. Once everything is squared, weld everything together. The box is welded. In the back you can notice a hole. This is to put your motor attachment. If you have a different motor, make sure that the position match your motor reference. The box is now welded. There is many holes that need to be tapped. Check the drawings to know which one exactly. There is many holes to be threaded. Don't hesitate to invest into machine thread maker if you are building multiple machines. We finished the tapping. That was very long. There's a lot of holes. But before going further, we're going to assemble all the other elements of the box to check that everything fits well. First, the bearings. And the windows. They are an optional feature. We add them to be able to show the machine working inside. But they require many extra holes on the box. Then the part that will close the box once the rotor is installed. And repeat the same in the other side. Then close the box, mounting the two top covers. And your box is finished. Everything fits properly together. They're still missing some parts, such as the rotor, but we recommend to only assemble it at the final stage, as it can be complicated to take out. Now we will make the fixed blade, that is located at the bottom of the rotor. The fixed blade is just a laser cut part with two threaded holes in the bottom. This blade is held in position with two lateral holders, and the height of this fixed blade can be adjusted thanks to the bottom holder. First, we will make the lateral holders. Put the pieces in place and weld them. Tap the holes and make two of them. The lateral holders are done, now the bottom holder. The bottom holder is down. We will install them later. Now we will make the sieves located around the rotor. Two sieves are used to make sure your plastic is shredded to the proper size. And you also use them to press the plastic against the rotor to ensure proper shredding. They are made out of laser cut and bended part welded together. Most of the pieces we are using were already cut, bended and drilled before. We asked a local metal worker to do it. But of course, you can also do it yourself if you have the skills, the tools and the machinery. Again, make sure every piece is properly aligned. Weld the reinforcement together using the round bar as a guide so it can move freely after welding. As you can see, the round bar moves freely and can be removed. Then, weld the handles. The second sieve is exactly the same, but the handle is mirrored. All the components inside the box are done, except the rotor. We will work on it later. Now we will make the hopper. On top of the shredding box comes the hopper. It's simply 4 panels welded together, but we added a window in the middle so you can look at what you're doing safely. Make sure all your pieces are properly aligned and don't hesitate to build a little jig if you plan to manufacture multiple of them. Some pieces are rusty because we have them already for some months. But it doesn't affect the structure, it's only a visual issue. For the window, you will need more screws. This window is important as you would not be able to see the plastic being shredded safely otherwise. The hopper is done. And finally, we need a frame to support this whole machine. Like in any other precious plastic machines, the frame is made of simple square tubes. You will need all these parts. Same here, it's very important that our frame is perfectly flat, so clamp it and tack it correctly. Once the welding is done, you need to grind the top weld and the side welds so you're able to put the shredding box and the protection. Then add the meshes to the sides. The frame is down. Now we will do the electronic box holder. The parts for this were not already prepared, so we will make them here. First cut, then drill, bend, align, and weld. And now we can attach it to the frame. We will also need to do some holes to attach the box to the frame later. First, mark their position. Take out the box. Drill the holes. And tap them. Also, use this moment to drill the holes for the door. The door is installed. Now the door safety mechanism. So we finished all our components, but before painting them, it's good that you assemble all of them together to see that everything fits properly. The hole seems to fit. Check if the inside parts fit. Add the fixed blade holders. The sieves. the covers. And the hopper. Everything fits well, so now we need to paint it. Of course, you could just like spray paint all part, but we advise that you find a nice painter, hopefully powder coating, so you can get a nice finish and a very durable machine. While everything we build is being painted, I have some time to talk to you about some of the critical components of this machine. The first one being the rotor. This is really the heart of the process. So for this machine, we really wanted to go for a professional and industrial proven rotor. So that's why we have in front of us this fairly complex part to manufacture that actually required 5-axis lathe to be done properly. This is definitely a very complex part to do that is a bit outside of what push plastic usually do, but this definitely pays off in terms of reliability. In the future, it's also possible that we try to develop a similar rotor with a simpler laser cut system, but for now, we're going to stick to something that we know works very well. So to manufacture this one, we didn't do it ourselves, but we partner with some machining specialists to build on one side this rotor, and here the set of teeth that perfectly fit in the slots. If you struggle to find someone, make sure to also check on the Bazar. It's possible that you find someone in push plastic community that you could partner with that could build either the rotor or the teeth, or maybe both for you. And of course, you need a motor and an electric box to control it. There is different ways to go here, so I will give you some general information and you can adapt depending on your needs. So depending where you are in the world and what are your budget available, you might want to go for different motor reference. You can go check our Discord or the how-tos and get some inspiration for the community to know exactly what is the best fit for you. But to give you some general information, what we recommend for this machine is a motor that is between 3 and 5.5 kilowatt, associated with a gearbox that will reduce the speed somewhere between 50 and 70 RPM. And your gearbox will need to have a hollow shaft that actually match your rotor. In addition, you will need a torque arm that generally comes on the side of the motor, and this will attach your motor to the shredding box. All gearbox reference will very probably have a different torque arm reference, so if you don't get the exact same one that we provide in the documentation, don't forget to modify your shredding box file so they match what you have. There is also many ways to control your electric motor, so we propose one solution in our documentation, and depending on your country regulations or what motor you have, you might want to go a different way. But make sure to really deep dive into it to make your own box according to your own need. So we recommend in all cases that you install an overload protection to protect your motor from short circuit and unexpected load. You will also need 2 contactors to make your rotor turn in both directions. And this is here our solution, but we installed a transformer that allows us to not have any high voltage going through the buttons, as well as a protection on the neutral and an extra contactor for emergency stop. On the outside, we have an emergency stop and a button to go in both directions. And finally, we highly recommend that you install a safety switch on the door, so every time you open the door, your motor will stop. All our parts are back from painting, and we have all the other necessary components to assemble this machine. So let's go. We will start by taking the paint out of the holes by tapping them one last time. Bolt all the screws of the box and make sure they are tight. Remove the paint from all the holes from the box. So before installing the rotor, we will pre-install the fixed blade, but not in its final position yet. Add the two lateral holders and the bottom one. Time to put the fixed blade. Bring the rotor. Grease it. And add the bearings. Make sure that everything spins well. Time to add the blades. Make sure to screw them as tight as possible. The rotor is installed, so now we want to adjust the fixed blade so it's as close as possible from the rotor's teeth. For this, we're using 3 bolts to bring the fixed blade up and 2 bolts to bring it down. Once you have your final position, secure it with these 2 M12. This part can be a bit hard. You will need to adjust the fixed blade to a position as close as possible to the rotor blades. It could take a while, but it is worth it. Seems to be rotating smoothly. Once you are happy with the position, fix it with the screws. Time to bring the motor. Grease the rotor. Place the keyway. Slide your motor in. Went by itself. And attach the motor to the box. A good way to test if the mechanical part works is by spinning the motor fan on top. So we installed the motor, everything is turning properly, we don't have any shock or anything. Everything is finished, we just need to install the sieve and the cover. So we're almost done. We just need to wire the box to the plug and connect it to the motor and the door safety switch. Also, add the door safety switch. And make the connection to the motor. The machine is finished. Let's put some sticker and turn this shredder on. Time to turn it on. The machine is complete and fully operational.
So in the link below you can download all the technical drawings and the 3D model, so you can start building it. And keep in mind that a lot of engineering hours went into this, and we're providing all the information for free because we want more people around the world recycling plastic. So if you like this mission and like what we do, make sure to support us with either donation or support on Patreon. Visit support.preciousplastic.com to see how you can help out. And also, if you want this machine but you don't really want to build it, you can also visit our Bazar, where you can buy the machine or buy parts to build the machine, which can make it a bit easier. Alright, that's it for now. Make sure to continue watching the next video where we're actually going to use and shred with the shredder. Thanks for watching and see you there.